Hello, everyone. This is Brother Andrew, and today we're going to be learning about Saint João de Deus. In English, we know him as Saint John of God, but in his original Portuguese, he would have been known as João de Deus. So let's sit back and listen to his story. João Duarte Cidade was born in Montemoro Novo, Portugal, on March 8, 1495. His parents, André Cidade and Teresa Duarte, both came from highly respected families who had fallen on hard times. They were no longer rich in money, but they were rich in faith. When João was 8 years old, he suddenly disappeared. What happened exactly, nobody knows. As far as we can tell, João was kidnapped and brought to Spain. Either way, his parents never saw him again. His mother died from grief, and his father went on to become a Franciscan friar. João somehow found himself on the streets of Oropesa, Spain. He was in a foreign country that spoke a language he couldn't understand. He was an orphan and alone, with no way of getting home. João lived this way for 4 years. One day, a man named Francisco Majoral took him in as a worker to take care of his sheep. This gave João a place to stay and money to help him take care of himself. As João grew, Francisco came to love him like a son. As he became an adult, Francisco wanted to make it official by having João marry his daughter. João, however, had other plans. When he was 22, João enlisted in the army of the Holy Roman Emperor, Charles V. He was entrusted with guarding some of the royal treasure. João was a loyal and diligent soldier, but one day, when the treasure was counted, some of it was found missing. João was accused of stealing from the emperor and was sentenced to death. Luckily for him, one of his superior officers came to his defense just in time. João was a little shaken by all of this, so he went back to Francisco's house to be a shepherd again. However, when Spain declared war on the Turks, he felt the call to enlist again and fought for them. After the war, João began to question his life. He felt as though he was not serving God by being a soldier. One day he had a vision of the baby Jesus telling him to go to Granada. Jesus called him João de Deus, John of God. This became his new name. In Granada, João heard a sermon from Saint Juan de Avila that made him turn his life upside down. Confronted with the sinfulness of his life as a soldier, he had a mental breakdown and was taken to an asylum. When Juan heard of this, he counseled João and brought him peace. At the age of 42, João decided to live the rest of his life in service to the poor and the sick as penance for the lives he had destroyed as a soldier. At first, people were suspicious of João. His history of mental illness made it hard for people to trust him. Over time, however, they began to notice that they had a hero in their midst. Others wanted to help him in serving the poor and the sick. They formed the Order of Brothers Hospitallers, who are still living out João's mission to this very day. João de Deus did not live to see his order be accepted by the Pope. He died on March 8th, 1550, his 55th birthday. On October 16th, 1690, Pope Alexander VIII canonized João as a saint. He is the patron saint of hospitals and mental illness. His feast day is on March 8th. Saint João de Deus lived most of his life without thinking about God very much. He basically did whatever he wanted without thinking about others. Later in life, he decided to give the rest of his life to God to make up for all the hurt he had caused and the time he had wasted. As we remember him during Lent, let us remember that it is never too late to start over and live our lives for God.